Hey, what is up, wrestling friends and family? It's me, JB, and the best Chris in all of wrestling podcasts, Mr. Chris Dredd. And today we are here to talk about Hulk Hogan. Hogan passed away, 2 days ago now? Thursday?
Yeah.
So we are talking today on the Saturday night. Chris, what's going on, man?
Not a lot, mate. Yeah, there's a lot to be spoken about, a lot going on online, a lot being said, a lot of terrible takes. Shout out to our boy, Terrible Takes, Bishop. But yeah, a lot of people saying a lot of wild stuff. And it's just a bit mental, man. Like, you can hold two opinions of one person and separate things. So we'll talk about that. But let's talk about Hulk Hogan, the wrestler. Yeah?
Yeah,
Because
that's the plan. Yeah. And we will continue with that until we get super annoyed, and we will talk about the idiots and the bad people. And I've got a lot to say about that too. But for now, we are going to get into the guy who was on top when I was first introduced to American wrestling. I hadn't seen any British wrestling as a small child, and the first person you see is Hulk Hogan.
Yes,
he's the man. He's very obviously the top guy, and it is like watching a superhero.
It was, and I think people have sort of, this new generation of wrestling fans, this next generation of wrestling fans, I don't think they quite sort of grasp how, when we were growing up and when wrestling was, when Hogan was on top and the WWE, WF at that time, when it was starting to become what it was, because people, Hogan started in the WWF, what's like 79 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But he wouldn't be that sort of Hulkamaniac Hulk Hogan figure for a few years past that. But what people don't quite understand is professional wrestling wasn't what it is today, right? It wasn't as widespread as it is now. But if you would mention in 1990, 1989, 1987, 1993, if you say to someone who doesn't watch wrestling that you watch wrestling, the first thing that they would say to you is, "Oh, what, Hulk Hogan and that?"
Yeah.
Am I lying?
Absolutely. No lies.
No lies being told. People who didn't even watch wrestling knew who Hulk Hogan was. They knew who it was. And that, even that little fact says that he sort of transcended already wrestling. He already transcended that, bruv. If you look up yonder, I have got a Thunder in Paradise poster. If I look to my left, I have got a Mr. Nanny poster, a full-size cinema poster of Mr. Nanny, bruv. I have got.
I still question why, but I appreciate that they're there.
Dude, it's for me, when, like I say, think about when this Mr. Nanny come out, right? I'm a 42-year-old man, okay? When Mr. Nanny come out, I was watching wrestling, okay? So let's have a look. Mr. Nanny, 1993. I was 11 years old, right? 11 years old. And I was watching wrestling at that time. I had watched wrestling at that time. Because you're looking 93, 94. That was when he sort of left WWF and went to WCW after that, weren't it? We're talking...
Yeah. 94, he left for WCW, yeah.
Yeah, so he would have left WWF 94.
93,
so at that
he
point,
left, yeah.
93, yeah. So at that point, I'd already watched him for years in WWF. Yeah. And then you see him in movies like Suburban Commando, Mr. Nanny. You've seen him on stuff like that. And like I say, you would mention that you're a wrestling fan or you watch wrestling, and every single fucking person would say, oh, what, like Hulk Hogan? Yeah, it was
that stuff.
That was who they knew, and I don't think wrestling fans or, I mean, us, the Gluckers, I don't think they quite understand what he actually did for the business. We can talk about what, it's not quite at the point of. It's not quite at the point of Chris Benoit, is it? It's not at the point of where we have to separate so much.
No, well, I think you do. I do think you have to separate. I think when we get to an age where we are,
yeah,
I'm not quite 40 yet. Sorry to disappoint.
That's all good, bro. Don't worry
but
about it.
as an adult human being, much like a rational adult human being, you can understand that Terry Jean Bollea was playing a character on television.
Of course.
And that's the person that the kids were looking up to, with the training, the vitamins and the prayers and all that stuff, the ICO Pro, if he took some, who knows. All of that stuff, as an adult, you realize that's a character he's playing. The human being, the person that he is and was, is never going to be
that
the superhero. Yeah, he's never going to be Hulk Hogan. He's Terry. And as humans, people say things, people do things, people are different people. And the idea that he was a racist, I think, is probably wrong. He obviously
I'll
said
get to that. Yeah,
he said some things, but look at how many people have put in their tributes for Hogan. Include like your Devon Dudleys, your Elijah Burks, all them people, like The Rock, all that. Like, it's one of those that I just think that people need to just calm down a little bit. Are these people so perfect that they've never done a thing wrong in their lives? They can be seen as wonderful human beings, and no one should ever do anything wrong.
I mean, it's wild what he said in the leaked telephone conversation, right? It's wild. But he wasn't. It's weird because he wasn't a person who, over the years, like, for example, like, let's talk about Tessa Blanchard, for example. Let's just say, okay. Just as an example.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Was there ever a story that came out about Hulk Hogan, sort of, apart from the phone call, right? That he was talking about his daughter, if she's gonna be with an N-word, then he'd rather.
Oh yeah, most people listening or watching will have seen that. Will have already.
But some people don't. So basically, he dropped the N-bomb about 3 or 4 times. And he was saying, "Look, if she's gonna fuck an N-word, then I'd rather her fuck an N-word who's got $100 million in the fucking bank and is an NBA player or something like that, right?" But there's only ever, Hogan was always hanging around with black people, like he always was. Like Dennis Rodman, like, was literally always with him through the NWO. He was always sort of. It's weird because I've never, and like you say, the people like Elijah Burke, the people like Booker T, people that have actually worked with him and been with him over the years, black people, have only got nice things to say about him. So you'd think that
it's the moral grandstanding that bugs me a little bit, and I'm thinking, you know what? Like, half of these people, I'm muting now, or I'm just not we're not following them. Like, there's no need for it. It's just a way for people to stay mad and get a few extra points, a few extra cents on that blue tick on X. It's not worth it.
It's crazy. What he said was fucked. Yeah, it was wild. There's no excusing what he said.
No. But people say bad things all the time.
I mean, maybe he thought he had the N-word pass because what Booker T said. You get me?
Maybe,
like,
yeah.
Maybe, maybe like he just thought, oh shit, like I could. Do you know what I mean?
I'm one of the guys. Yeah.
I'm one of the guys. I swear he actually used that at one point as well. He said, I used to hang around so many black people that were, and they were calling me the N-word. He said this in an interview at one point. He said, I used to hang around with loads of black people and they used to call me the N-word all the time. And like it was weird. Like, you know, he did there is an interview somewhere where he spoke about it. But yeah, it's just wild, dude. Like we've come from a place of, look, there is an argument to be made, right? And I truly believe there is an argument to be made that and we're talking about two people here as well. I'm going to bring up two people here now that may well behind the scenes in certain situations be a fairly shitty person, right? But let's fucking Delia Smith it and let's be Avenue, right? if it what you get what I'm saying? Like niche reference, bro. Let's be Avenue.
I do the impression every now and again here at home. So yeah,
it's
like I know
good.
exactly what you mean. Yeah.
You know. So if it wasn't for these two people, Vince McMahon,
yeah,
and Hulk Hogan,
it's not even a controversial sort of thing because
I don't think
anyone with a brain knows this. So
yes, if it wasn't for Vince McMahon and Hulk Hogan, would we be talking? Would the wrestling sphere, would professional wrestling itself, in and of its fucking self, would it be as big as it is? And would it have got the traction to become as big as it is? To then birth other companies like get WCW that big?
I don't think the expansion that Vince has, I don't think it works without Hogan. I mean, I made the joke, you know, in somewhere in the multiverse, Backlund Mania runs wild, but Backlund, as great as he is in the ring, is boring.
Yes,
like, he was a boring guy, and that's why he had to, he had fire and all that, like, and charisma in the ring. But outside the ring, he wasn't a great interview. He needed someone who could go to all these, all these other TV shows, the mainstream shows that Hogan was being put on. Remember, he'd have been on Sunday Kitchen. He would.
Of course he would have.
He would have been on Loose Women and all of that, like, and he would have, he would have hammed it up and been the Hulkster and done all that stuff, which he did all around the country in America.
He did it with Belter and fucking choked him out. You know what I mean? Like,
it wouldn't have worked with anyone else. I mean, you could maybe make the case for Savage, and I love Randy Savage.
Of course.
But I don't think it works because Hogan, he was huge. He was jacked. He was, and he could talk.
Of course, and it
wasn't a gibberish promo. He could hear you knew exactly what he was trying to say. It wasn't talking about the power of the Warriors and all that stuff, and take that plane into a nose spin and all that weird shit.
Bro, it was everything that came with Hogan. It was the fucking 24-inch pythons, bruv. It was the oiled, tanned physique. It was the promos. It was the bandana. It was the say your prayers, eat your vitamins. You know what I mean? It was your American, real American. It was everything.
Yeah. The song helped too. The song was epic,
dude. It wasn't Lex Luger, but it was the total package. Yeah. It was literally. I don't think it even works with a Lex Luger. It doesn't work with a. It didn't. We've seen it. So.
Ironically, I think it would have worked with a Kurt Angle. If Kurt Angle was placed into the late 80s, I think it would work because he's Kurt Angle. He is an American hero. Like that would have worked big time.
One of my all-time favorite wrestlers of all time because Kurt Angle is Kurt Angle. He's absolutely fucking phenomenal. It's wild that I've seen takes and I know you've seen them because
I've got one in particular I would love to bring up.
Is it the one where Is that the one where they're talking about the wrestling business would have been better without him because he held so many people down? Take.
Yes, there is that one. The one about like Hogan, putting the stop on the unionizing and all that rubbish. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, Jesse.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that is technically one of Jesse's conspiracies, and I love Jesse too. Like, I love his conspiracies, but the idea that Hogan held people down. Well, he did probably hold people down, but he was the top draw. You weren't getting past him. It wasn't going to happen, no matter what other wrestlers might have believed during that time. And that includes people like Piper and whoever else.
Yeah,
they were not as capable as Hogan to be at the top and stay at the top. They could have had short runs at the top with world championships like Randy Savage did, but they couldn't stay there because Vince had to keep going back to Hogan. That says everything about it. The other, my biggest problem, right, with the other, there was another bit about competition as well in that same statement, which made me howl with laughter.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
My personal favorite was people, British wrestling fans, as they are, happens.
Yep.
But people within British wrestling deciding they're now going to be picky about their outrage. People that were in dressing rooms in the last 5 years, maybe even before that, people that were, in the dressing rooms in the last 10 years, people that have been around that business over the last 10, 15 years, seeing what they saw, being a part of what they were part of, not saying a fucking word.
Yeah.
But now they decide they're going to be outraged because Hulk Hogan said a racist word. No, fuck that, man. Some of these guys saw some nasty shit.
Yeah, dude.
In British wrestling fucking locker rooms. And they didn't say a fucking word. They were protecting their pals.
Yeah.
And I'm not having a bar of that. No fucking way.
No. And absolutely right, dude. Like you say, the selective outrage and we're going to be pissed off at that, but you could have actually genuinely put a stop to a lot of horrible shit that was going on, and you did nothing. Because
British wrestling's got way too much to answer for it to start being fucking morally ahead of anyone else. Yeah. Fuck them.
Oh yeah. No, it's fucking wild, man.
Sorry, I went off on one.
No, it's all right. I can't remember what I was going to say.
We're talking about competition. That was the next bit. Yeah. Saying how Hogan stopped competition. In that statement. Yeah.
So there's one, and I know that you love this man too. Bobby the Brain Heenan. So Bobby the Brain Heenan makes all throughout his whole fucking career, okay, Bobby the Brain Heenan hated Hulkamania as a character.
Yeah.
Bobby the Brain Heenan, the character, right, hated Hulkamania. And all he did was shit on it and say he fucking hated it because obviously he's the heel, Hogan was the face. In an interview that I've watched many a time, Bobby the Brain Heenan answers this question when he's asked, did Hulk Hogan hold anyone down or, stop people from getting pushes and all this sort of thing? And Heenan nips it in the bud straight away and he goes, that is absolutely ridiculous. Everyone was fucking queuing up to work with Hogan. And only a certain few people obviously could. And the people that talk about being held down or chat that sort of shit are the people that could never fucking draw a dime with Hogan. And they were the people that were chatting shit about, Hogan was holding people down and this, that, and the other. No. He didn't. Anyone that worked with him got the fucking, even The Rock said it in a recent post. Yeah. Thank you for the house. It's an old school wrestling reference. And anyone that worked with Hulk Hogan should have been saying that to fucking this guy. Thank you for the house. Because of this shit, I've made a lot of fucking money.
It's true. It's true as well of that because I've seen, in the last 2 days, seen some really terrible shit on X, in particular X. A little bit on Facebook, not so much. Follow us on Facebook if you are, listening or watching this right now. Wrestlers, a lot of them, some of your indie darlings, including, I'm not going to name them just yet. I'll see how I feel. But the ones that were talking shit and making their jokes as well, like These are wrestlers who would have literally probably sold their own grandmothers to get, a decent house show run with Hogan.
Yeah.
Because they'd have made more money on that house show run than they ever made in their indie fucking careers.
Yeah.
And the same in that same vein goes to the podcasters. And, some of them might even hear this. And for that, I make no apologies on this. But if you were offered 5 minutes with Hogan, you'd have fucking took it.
Oh,
if you were offered 5 minutes on your show to talk to Hulk Hogan, you'd have fucking taken it. So don't start now. Again, it's bullshit. Everyone's trying their hardest to, appease the IWC and appease this woke crowd.
It's that virtue signaling.
They're full of shit. Yeah, no, they would have. If they said, "Oh, you can have Hogan on your show," watch them. They'd have moved heaven and earth. They'd have found a time slot at 3 a.m. if they had to.
Of course,
they would have spoken to him.
They would have called their own children the N-word to get Hogan on for 5 minutes. Clip that. Look. We are in no way, shape, or form excusing people using the N-word, right?
No.
And I, for many, many times, and you will remember this as well, me doing it multiple times. I have posted the picture of Hulk Hogan writing NWA on the side of the thing, but it stopped with the N and the start of the W, and it just looks like NI. Like it's a meme. It was a meme, right?
Yeah.
And I've used it. We're in no way, shape, or form excusing the fact that he's said that, right? And the problem that it is coming with it now is, again, it's politics as well. Because did you really think that a multi-millionaire white old man would be a fucking Republican? Did you ever? I mean, think about it, bruv.
Well, the other thing is him and Trump go back fucking years, so it was always going to be that way.
Years. Like they were in Trump Plaza. WrestleMania was held in Trump Plaza 2 years on the trot.
2 WrestleManias, yeah.
2 years on the trot. So to obviously Donald Trump and Hulk Hogan are fucking friends. And just because you don't like fucking Donald Trump now doesn't mean that you can't fucking like Hulk Hogan anymore. It's fucking wild.
I mean, if we were playing that sort of whataboutism and, that sort of nonsense, then they would be... A lot of these wrestling fans in the IWC would be very, very disappointed to hear about who Shad and Tony Khan, donated a lot of money to.
Yes. Yes.
Again, where does it end? Yeah. Where's your outrage? Where is it? It's not about, is it? It's you've gone blind or something. Fuck's sake.
It's wild. It's again, it's that selective. Sorry, this new mic, I can't stop fiddling with it.
No, that's all right. You fiddle with your mic. Can you hear it? Fiddle with your mic. That's all right.
Can you hear it clicking or anything when I'm moving it? No.
Only when you moved it just then. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. But when I'm doing this, it's fine. Okay.
All good.
Yeah. All right. Well, so look, Hulk Hogan is fucking Hulk Hogan, right? And let me fucking wheel it back a little bit, right? Let me wheel it back probably 4 days before Hulk Hogan died. Another prominent celebrity passed away a few days before Hulk Hogan, right?
Yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay, yeah, Ozzy, yeah.
Right? So Ozzy Osbourne died. Ozzy Osbourne was a piece of shit at certain times in his life. Ozzy Osbourne...
I don't know much about Ozzy's stuff, to be fair. So I'll apologise now. I just don't, yeah.
Bro, he used to fucking shoot cats, yeah? And he beat the shit out of his missus, right? And,
is any of this allegedly?
No, it's there, bro.
Okay.
But what these people are doing, they're like, oh yeah, but Ozzy came out and apologized and was sincere and changed his whole life and all that. Do you get what? Do you know what I mean? So also, this is like another one for the whole woke or whatever way you want to look at it, right? As well, Ozzy Osbourne, there has been nothing but fucking praises and this guy's a fucking brilliant guy. But a few years back, there was another war in Gaza where Israel were again sort of doing what they sort of have been doing now and sort of indiscriminately killing children and not being very choosy where the bombs are going or whatever. And there was a lot of musicians that were saying, look, we can't perform there because, until they stop doing what they're doing, we're not going to do it. And Ozzy Osbourne was like, no, fuck that. Fuck you. We're going to go and perform. Yeah. So that sort of, the people that wouldn't be happy about if people did that now are probably the people that don't like Hogan because of what he. Do you see what I'm saying? So
it's again with that one on Ozzy, like I'm at an age now where, if you need money and someone asks you to go and work somewhere and do it, if you're broke, you just go and do it. Like obviously, Ozzy's not committing a crime by doing that. And I'm not saying you're going to commit crimes to earn money, but if someone offers you a job, you take the fucking job.
But what I'm saying is, it's these people are talking about the morality of actions that people do. So they're talking about the morality of that, of when everyone's boycotting because they want something really bad to stop happening, and you're going to turn around and go, no, fuck all that. I don't give a shit about these people. I'm going because I need money or I want money or whatever. So the morality of that paired up with, and like I say, I'm not saying we're on any, this podcast doesn't state where we stand on political issues generally. But I'm just looking at it from...
I've just been informed very, very quietly, obviously, that Sharon Osbourne's Jewish.
Is she really?
Apparently so.
I mean, I didn't not know. I didn't want to be sort of stereotypical, but she's got very sort of Jewish mannerisms.
Has she? Again, like
I don't know. I didn't know she was Jewish. But
maybe that was just now.
Yeah. So maybe that's why they were like, no, fuck it, we're going to perform in Israel because they just didn't. They were on that side of whatever. But if you look at it now, if you look at the morality of these times, if someone was to do that, all the left wing people that hate Hulk Hogan for him being with Trump would have turned around and gone, oh no, why do you get what I'm saying? Like it's very, I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy. That's the word. I'm just pointing
it's
out
everywhere. It's everywhere.
The hypocrisy, and that's the issue. Like I'm saying, everyone was like, and I'm not celebrating someone dying, whether I agree with Ozzy Osbourne, what he did or what he hasn't done, or what Hulk Hogan has done or hasn't done. The only people I will celebrate the death of are people like fucking Jimmy Savile. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like, that's a completely different fucking kettle of fish. But yeah, it's the morality of these people literally celebrating the death of Hulk Hogan, and that's what they're doing, right? I've seen it.
Yeah, I seen that was just it was sad in a way. Like it was like, fuck, these people really have little or nothing in their life to celebrate if that's what they're using as some sort of something to some sort of copium. Like it's really poor to see. Yeah,
they've got a serious lack of moral compass themselves if they're going to be celebrating the death of people. You can separate. We're adults, like you say. We're grown-up people who can separate the person, Terry Bollea, from Hulk Hogan, brother. No,
you know what we saw as Hulk Hogan,
Yeah, we as a professional wrestler, the geezer was the greatest of all time. Like you can't. It's fucking Hulk Hogan. Like we can't sit here as a wrestling podcast. And like you say, there are other wrestling podcasts who may well hear what we're talking about now or listen, who are sort of, they don't want to just admit that they probably wouldn't be doing what they're doing if it weren't for Hulk Hogan. The wrestling business itself wouldn't be what it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of people of a similar age to us that grew up watching Hogan, watching him, all those like those. It's not like the first, like, say 2-3 WrestleManias, but after that, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like a real peak golden era.
Yes,
where everyone that was into wrestling was watching the WWF. Yes. Obviously, people were watching WCW too. I know I was, and there were people who watched wrestling even before us. Watching that. When it was a bit more dingy and a bit in like the smaller arenas and stuff. It's they would have seen Hogan come up too, and they would have seen that whole thing. So whether they agreed with it, whether they liked it or not, is it's not my problem. But it's that group of people who grew up, early years watching Hogan and watching the WWF and loving the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And, again, they couldn't separate the man from the character. So this is where that's where they are. That's the journey they've taken.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, and I don't want to be that guy who knocks people on this one, but as rational human beings, I'm not even going to say smart because, we could be of average sort of fucking brain power here.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little less. I don't, we can determine what's what and go Hulk Hogan, the character, telling kids to, say prayers and all that and doing all those Make-A-Wish things, until Cena took the mantle off him and like just went nuts with the Make-A-Wish stuff. Hogan was doing that too. Like, I don't think a bad man really, like an awful human being, goes and does all that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, maybe eventually, I'm sure we'll be the ones that are wrong in this situation. But
we went to a live show, you and I, and we sat in the front row.
Yeah.
We sat in the front row.
Yeah, we did.
Of a live show with Brutus the Barber Beefcake. All right. And we listened to his story of what Hulk Hogan did for him, not just through his fucking career, but when he had the really bad injury, right? And he also talks about what happened in the later when they sort of fell out with each other. But he also did say that he thought that it was Hogan's missus who was the main orchestrator of that.
Well, Beefcake has since like tweeted or whatever, and he is like he genuinely feels like remorse for not doing more to make it up with Hogan.
Yeah,
like, and that's going to happen. Like,
of course it is. But at the time, because you've seen the Dark Side of the Ring of his, we've both watched it. I'm assuming. Hogan. Anyone who has been in Hogan's life closely.
Watch the Dark Side. Try and cash in on Hogan now. New season.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, dude, this is going to be... Oh, it's going to be wild, dude. It's going to be wild. So,
yeah.
I mean, anyone who's dealt with Hulk Hogan closely has sort of always said that he sort of has helped them out and done this and done that and done the other. Apart from you've got people like fucking Billy.
Billy Jack Haynes.
Billy Jack Haynes, who talks about Hogan, but the geezer's fucking wild. He speaks about a load of crazy shit.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Hogan talking about say your prayers, take your vitamins, you got your bag full of gimmicks. Look, again, he can't separate the character of Hulk Hogan from Terry Bollea, who is a professional wrestler, a human being who was probably taking sleeping pills, wake me up pills, somas, steroids, cocaine, weed, drinking, is a fucking professional wrestler. They all did it, bruv. And he was the professional wrestler of professional wrestlers, dude. He was like the fucking at the apex of it. So of course he had his fucking fanny pack of gimmicks that he would. Do you know what I mean? Like, of course, bro. What fucking planet are you living where you think that someone whose body in the end we all know has broken down from the amount of times he dropped that leg and the amount of times, you know, both his hips gone, you know, knees gone, back gone. You know, my missus, right? We were talking the other day when it happened and she went, "Oh, 71, that's quite young." I went, "For a wrestler, that's
for a
fucking
wrestler
old."
in the 80s, yeah.
I was like, for a wrestler of that era, it's fucking old, man. Like, and then even she was reading a few articles and all that, and said, "Oh, actually, fucking hell, a lot of them did end up dying from that era." Like, yeah, Hogan, for Hulk Hogan to be alive, even fucking Ric Flair to be still with us right now. It is wild if you think about, you know.
I saw it was, I think I posted it on the Facebook story. There was a wrestling game with, it was a poster with some of the wrestlers on it, and I'm gonna get it up now actually because I don't want to get it wrong. And this is quite, like, this is very sad actually. Super WrestleMania for the Super Nintendo poster, and on the poster itself, Savage.
I've got it here. I've got the game.
Doom, yeah, Sid, Hogan, and Jake fucking Roberts.
Yeah.
Jake probably did more drugs than any of them, apart from maybe Hawk. And Jake is still with us. Good for Jake though. Like, you know, he's still with us. But good God, man.
It's even like the wrestling challenge game. He's the last one to go on that.
Yeah. That's terrible, man. Yeah.
You know, but look, he was front and center of everything, dude.
I love that game as well. I had that on the Nintendo. It was,
you know what I mean? That's on the original NES, bro. Like, he was front and center of everything. He was the face of professional wrestling, and to live in a time where there are people that still can't sort of, but they know, bro. They know. Like, anyone with half a brain cell who's in the wrestling bubble knows that without Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon, what they did to bring wrestling to a global audience, really in the way that it we wouldn't really be talking about wrestling like it is today, I don't think.
The saddest thing is if we like, you know, joined the hive mind and said that Tony Khan saved wrestling and that AEW is the best thing ever and Dave Meltzer is the greatest writer of our times, I mean, I'm certain this show would be a lot more popular.
Well, you say that, bruv, but they're not really doing numbers, man. They're not really doing numbers. The Dynamite and all that. I mean,
no, I know, but it's for some reason these guys, like, who are very, very, you know, pro AEW in their stance, like they do very well. They get like all the, you know, the super chats and all that stuff, and, you know, all the funny bits that go with it. It's interesting to see, but again, it's a hive mind. It's a very small part of a massive wrestling fan community, but that small part are the ones that plow their money into everything and anything. If New Japan, you know, started putting out beer mat coasters, they'd go out and they'd be sold out in a minute. You know, it's all that kind of shit. You know, it's funny because they don't seem to be rushing out to go and watch AEW anymore.
No.
Because, you know, Forbidden Door's not sold out. You know, what's it? Collision and Dynamite in Glasgow is not sold out.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, Yeah, just one of those things that pops into my head every now and again. That because we refuse to bow to the simplest version of it all, and we're not part
lowest
of it.
common denominator.
That's just me venting a little bit, but I can't say it enough that we already love the people that stick around, watch this, and join us every 2 weeks or so whenever we decide to put a show out.
It's mad, but let's talk about. So let's talk about more about Hogan, right?
Yeah.
So Terry Bollea, aka Hulk fucking Hogan. Even when he stopped wrestling, I was still watching Hogan Knows Best, bruv. Like
something I did not go with. I just didn't. It wasn't my thing. I just thought, reality TV just isn't my thing anyway. I think the Undertaker's about to turn up in your room. The lights have gone out.
It is, yeah.
The Undertaker dropped Hogan on his head and gave him one of those fake injuries as well. So, I mean, I watched WrestleMania 7 yesterday. I just, I had to put something on.
So
do we have light again? We're good.
We have light. Yeah. So it's. I watched again today, which slightly annoying that the whole event wasn't on any platform. Bash at the Beach, the infamous Bash at the Beach.
I thought you had it on VHS or something.
Yeah, but I weren't at home. I was at work, so I wanted to watch it on YouTube or something, but it weren't on there. But the matches, the 28-minute match from the start to what happened, right?
Yeah.
So Hogan and Vince, this is how integral this man was to even more so into what the wrestling that we watch today, right? So him and Vince McMahon put their heads together. They create fucking WrestleMania, whatever happens, right?
Yeah.
Pushes wrestling, the pay-per-views, the fucking this, that, and the other, goes into absolute fucking orbit. Vince grabs all the talent. It goes crazy.
3-4 shows a night they were putting on.
Bro, wild, mate.
Yeah.
And then it starts to go into a bit of a decline, right? So you're talking, what, 94? 95?
For the WWF?
Yeah.
93. I imagine 92 probably 93. Wasn't great. Yeah, but
92, 93. Starts faltering a little bit. And then Hogan leaves, does some films, 93, 94. Joins fucking WCW. And in 1996, he's the third man. Right?
Not Mabel.
Not Mabel, as was predicted or foretold by some.
By Wrestling Shakespeare, yeah, that guy.
Yeah. He then proceeds with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall to be part of a wrestling resurgence from 96 to 2000 is the hottest era of wrestling for both companies, probably.
Oh yeah, because WCW did sort of fall into decline, like in say 99, moving on. Yeah,
99.
WWF just went off on one. Yeah.
Right. Yes. So, and then again, so he's left WWF, he's gone to WCW, and then he's made WCW go fucking run wild, brother, with the heel turn, right? Fucking smashes it. WCW then goes into decline, 1999, 2000, greed. Pay-per-view. Watch our fucking review of that bad boy. And then Hogan and the NWO end up in WWF again. WWE again. Right? And then we have The Rock and Hogan.
Yeah, that's an incredible match.
It is, again, it's something that I need to watch tonight. because
seeing the bit, like they clipped it a lot, like over the past couple of days, seeing Hogan Hulk up, kick out Hulk up, and the whole, like, I think it's the Sky Dome, isn't it? They go absolutely
no, it's Canada.
Mental.
Canada.
Toronto Sky Dome.
Yes,
they go absolutely nuts, and it is. I mean, it's nostalgia fueled brilliant, but it's Hogan. They've wanted to see Hogan do this for a long time.
Yes,
like in a WWF ring against the WWF guys. They didn't want to see, like, they got sick of seeing him do it against Ric Flair and all that. They wanted to see him do it against Austin, Rock, all of those guys. And he finally got to do it against The Rock, and like the place goes nuts. Like, tell me that's not fucking brilliant.
I can't, because it was. It's like, and again, these motherfuckers, bro, they don't want to, they can't acknowledge these simple things of how brilliant, when this geezer steps in the ropes, whether he had the greatest moveset ever or if he didn't, or whether he could fucking do a Hurricane Rana or do a backflip, or
he could do an enziguri.
There you go, bro. Yeah. And he had one hell of a fucking leg drop. But it didn't matter, because wrestling is made up of not just the moves, it's the story. It's if you give a shit. It's, do you give a shit who wins or loses? And a lot of wrestling now, it doesn't really matter who wins or loses. Then no one gives a shit, right? But then when you had The Rock and Hogan, people gave a shit. It was like, this is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for. The Rock was probably as big as The Rock thought he was ever going to get. And Hogan was fucking Hogan. This is like, what, 2001? 2002, right?
Yeah. Literally captured lightning in a bottle. Like,
dude, it's wild. I mean, I even still believe one of the greatest professional wrestling matches ever to be caught on film. And I'll tell you this now, and I don't know if you might even agree with me, dude. Hulk Hogan versus Vince McMahon in the fucking street fight.
People will not want to hear about this. Like, those that aren't fans of these guys now will not want to hear about it. But fuck me, they had a great match, didn't they?
Dude, it is for me. If you look at it as a cinematic wrestling match, as you forget Vincent K. McMahon, right? He's not Vincent K. McMahon. He's Mr. McMahon, right there. Yeah. Forget Terry Bollea. He's not Terry Bollea right there. He is Hulk Hogan, right? And when you've got, oh my God, it was fucking incredible, that match. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I do not care. I could not give less fucks about what anyone says. That match right there, you watch the story, you watch the pre-match, what WWF, WWE have always done fantastically is before there's a match, they tell you the fucking story, dude. They show you a video package of exactly why this match is happening and why you should give a shit, right? And then when you've got Hulk Hogan and when you've got Vince McMahon,
the bloody face, and he's come up over
over the fucking ring, and you've got Vince McMahon on top of one of the highest ladders I've ever seen in my life, and he's dropping a leg drop on Hulk Hogan on the announcer's desk, and he's on top of the ladder doing this. Yeah? And he's doing that. Yeah. And everyone's booing the shit out of him. And it's like...
He's got him, yeah.
He's got him, dude.
Exactly where he wants him.
It's like that meme. Got him. Yeah? It's like... Dude. That match is, again, but it's Hulk Hogan. And it's Vince McMahon, who people don't want to accept it. We spoke about it earlier on. What those two guys did to push professional wrestling to where it was at that point. For them two people who genuinely in life had their ups and downs and fucking at some points fucking hated each other and went to court against each other. And then, there was a bit of fucking ins and outs there where the government said to Hogan he had to go in and testify and that. And he did, but didn't end up fucking Vince over really in the end. That was the whole thing. for those two men at that time in that match, I'm sorry. If you have not seen that match, I don't know where you've been for if you're a wrestling fan and you haven't watched Vince McMahon versus Hulk Hogan in the street fight at WrestleMania. I don't know what you're doing. What is it? WrestleMania 17?
19.
19. Yeah. My favorite WrestleMania.
Because it has. I mean, it's a really good WrestleMania. Let's not that for a start. It's got HBK and Jericho. Yeah, like.
HBK Jericho was fucking phenomenal because it had the whole thing of they told you the story before where Jericho used to dress up like Shawn Michaels and all that, and incredible
storytelling at its finest there. Yeah.
WrestleMania 19 is fucking arguably the best WrestleMania fucking ever, right?
What do you think?
Huh?
I mean, I don't necessarily agree, but I'm interested to hear your take there on that.
Arguably, that's why I preface it with arguably. But we can look at the card, WrestleMania 19 card, right? While we're fucking talking about fucking WrestleMania,
I think it was like Undertaker against A-Train and Big Show and some weird shit like that.
So you had. So the Sunday Night Heat. I mean, you had fucking like Kane and Rob Van Dam against fucking Lance Storm and Chief Morley, Dudley Boys. You know, in a triple threat.
That's right.
You know, that was on the pre-show. The Heat. You know, the card was fucking phenomenal, mate. Like, let's have a look. You had Rock and Austin, obviously.
Yeah, number 3. Yeah.
Let's have a look. Come on, mate. Fucking
Brock and Kurt Angle.
A phenomenal match. Phenomenal match, regardless of the fucking shooting star.
Matt Hardy and Rey Mysterio.
Yes, that was the first match. It was Matt Hardy 2.0
right.
against Rey Mysterio. I know this event like fucking. Yeah, so you had Matt Hardy versus Rey Mysterio was the first match. Then you had Undertaker versus Big Show and A-Train, and then it had that fucking
Nathan Jones
Jones turn up. Yeah. Then you had a phenomenal triple threat women's match: Trish Stratus versus Victoria versus Jazz. Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then you had a tag team triple threat match: Team Angle versus Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero versus Chris Benoit and Rhino.
Yeah.
Phenomenal fucking match. Then you had Shawn Michaels versus Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
fantastic.
That I mean, Triple H and Booker T didn't hit, but
it didn't hit. But the story was fucking crazy. It was
interesting.
And then you had the street fight 20 years in the making. If Hogan loses, he must retire, right? And the crowd, dude, when Hogan came out, man, and Vince was fucking with the swagger.
Yeah.
What a match. That arguably fucking, just phenomenal, dude. And then you got The Rock and Austin, and then you got Brock versus Kurt. Like,
it's a good show. It's a hell of a lineup.
Fucking phenomenal, dude. There was probably like 2 matches that were sort of meh. The rest of them were fucking really good wrestling matches with really good stories. I mean, I would even say Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle, even with the shooting star press that fucked up, is still a 5-star match. If you watch the match.
On whose ratings? Is that 5 stars?
Bruv. On ours, blood. Yeah, on ours.
Yeah, okay.
But again,
the chat grapple rating of 5 stars.
Chat grapple rating of 5.5, yeah? Hogan is Hulk Hogan, and people are going to chat a lot of shit because he's a fucking Republican. He's friends with Donald Trump. You know, he was friends with Vince McMahon. He said the N-word. You know.
I mean, when you keep listing it like that, it could go on for a minute. Yeah, it doesn't sound great.
It could. But again,
one of my favorite Hogan sort of lore sort of stories is that he would take time off in WCW. He would take time off during the NBA playoffs just because he knew Nitro's ratings would tank against like these big NBA games. As soon as the playoffs were done, the next Monday Hogan would return. WCW would do a bigger rating anyway,
Yeah.
Because there was no basketball, and Hogan would tell the executives, who would fucking believe it,
Yeah.
that it was all down to him. Oh, my return, brother.
Yeah,
Big number.
of course.
And they would give him more money. It was, it's brilliant political bullshit, but that does not surprise me that he would do something like that, because he literally outsmarted them all.
Of course, bruv. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Nah, yeah.
Hogan was the ultimate chess player, dude. He was the ultimate, you can't be in the wrestling business for as long as he was and not know how to play the game.
Yeah.
You to be, who knows more about that company up north than me, brother? The geezer was fucking. He was dynamite on the mic, bro. That promo in the ring where everything's a lot of it, and he came out in his fucking cowboy boots and shit. The little off the cuff bits, like all of this trash in this ring represents these fans, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gene's face when he said that as well. It's like
fucking scheme Gene. You know what I mean? Dude. There's a lot of things you can say about this dude, but he was the greatest of all time, as we know it. There's no one that transcended the wrestling business and did what he done at all. There's no one. People have come close. The Undertaker, I would say, is up there with him.
The Undertaker probably had more longevity in the business as such, without going to movies. The Rock had less of a longevity on top because he was already earmarked for stardom elsewhere. So he took the train out and went straight to Hollywood. Hogan, on the other hand, had, what can we say, from 84, 85, where he's like the top star. And he manages to keep that going with a small break between 93, 94, all the way up to 98? Where he's probably still one of the top stars. Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
So that's over a decade. And then he still manages to do the movies in between. I mean, they're not all hits. The TV shows aren't all hits, but they still wanted him because they knew he was an attraction. He was still box office for wrestling, so they thought he could obviously move over and become TV star, whatever. I mean, Thunder in Paradise was a terrible idea. Anyone that has a poster of that on their wall should, be publicly shamed. Yeah,
it's right there, the corner of it.
Yeah, right. Just about see it. Yeah,
just about see it. But, bro, I still believe as a kid's film, Mr. Nanny is still phenomenal. If you watch it today as a kid, if your boys would sit down and watch Mr. Nanny,
one might, you never know,
bro. I'll tell you what, let me tell you something.
I don't even know what streaming service it might be on.
You don't need streaming service. We've got Netflix at home.
You've got 2 VHS tapes.
I've got 2 copies of it, because just in case one of them stops working, right?
That's dedication to Mr. Nanny.
One of them's they're ex rentals, both of them.
Oh, okay.
So the longevity of the tape is look. This one's still got the sticker on it. It says all films to be returned by 6 p.m. the next day, Saturday only. Look at that.
Nice.
Still got the sticker on it.
That's brilliant. That is.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
A lot of people watching might not know what any of that means, but rentals. Yeah.
Rentals, bruv. And look, let's not fuck about. Let's not look. Come on. And this is just
it's not a third VHS tape of Mr. Nanny, is it? Okay, no holds barred. Yeah, that is funny shit. Like it's a terrible film, but it is hilarious.
Dookie.
Yeah, like Hogan literally playing himself. Yeah,
it's fucking fantastic. My son, I said to my boy, I said, look, I want you to watch a couple of these films and just. And we were I think we were playing Magic or whatever, and we had it on in the background. And he'd stop playing. He was literally just watching, no whole barred. You know what I mean? And watching Mr. Nanny. He fucking loves Mr. Nanny. And this, obviously,
I cannot see that. Is that Thunder in Paradise?
Yeah, 2.
Good Lord.
Thunder in Paradise.
Where did you find that?
Bruv, my friend bought it for me from America. So it's an American VHS. My buddy Chris bought it for me from America. Thunder in Paradise 2.
My word.
Yeah. And the No Hold Barred is an American one as well. But what he also gave me, I've also got a sealed version of No Hold Barred, an American VHS. But also, look, I've got this as well. So I actually do have a third copy of Mr. Nanny. Double feature, Mr. Nanny and Suburban Commando.
Oh, wow.
Double action, double value.
That is double value, yeah.
Look at that. He's big, he's bad, he's in trouble. Fuck it, I'm telling you now. Mr. Nanny, fantastic fucking film, dude. I'm sorry, I do have 3 copies of it. But again, it's fucking, but this guy, he transcended wrestling in many ways, even without the films and the TV shows. He would go onto a talk show, and just be larger than life.
Have you seen that clip of him and Randy Savage with Lily Savage on the bed on, I think it was it the Channel 4 breakfast thing? What was that called?
The Big Breakfast, yeah.
Big Breakfast, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and they're both like, him and Randy are both like flirting with Lily Savage.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, our American viewers could do worse than watch the clip of Lily Savage.
Yeah.
And Hulk and Randy. And we've had to point, we even had, so where we had John Finkel on, and we told him about the clip of Macho Man on Saturday morning.
The BBC breakfast show, like,
yeah, going live. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he was talking about, boys can cry and all that and all this sort of stuff. And, Randy was a fucking superstar. But, even Randy and Hogan had their falling out, and,
the whole rap song about it.
Yeah, dude. And he was like called him out for an actual fight and said, yeah, the proceeds will go to like the kids' hospitals, because Randy was a real good dude as well. Like, let's not get this, like, guy, yeah, Randy was a real good fucking dude, man. Unfortunately, gone before his time, really. He was a weird one, his car just getting wrapped around a tree. They say he had a
heart attack at the wheel, yeah.
Heart attack at the wheel, which is wild. But yeah, what you cannot mention professional wrestling and not mention Hulk Hogan. You can't.
No, from our age, you can't. You're right. Like, there will be younger wrestling fans who will talk about John Cena, Randy Orton, and those ones. I dare not mention the AEW wrestlers, because what's the point? Unless you're counting Edge or whoever. But no, there is, whatever. Yeah, I know. So it's a thing, right? So yeah, there is. You cannot, like, of people of, say, what, even 30 and above, they instantly know who Hulk Hogan is.
Yeah,
they know that he's one of those wrestlers. Mm-hmm. And it's, if you get the chance to see why everyone knows who Hulk Hogan is or was, take the opportunity, watch the promos, watch the chaos of him growling and shouting into a microphone with Mean Gene or anything like that. Like, just take those few minutes and enjoy it. Like, it is absolutely, it could be drug fueled, who knows, but it's pure nuts. And yeah, why not? Have some fun.
Have some fun. And again, we will reiterate, even though we don't feel that we really need to, we will reiterate, we are not obviously excusing anything that has ever been said. That's not what we're having a conversation about here. What we are having a conversation about is, as a performer and as an ambassador for the professional wrestling business, and what they did to elevate what we now Noah's professional wrestling to where it is now, where there are a million fucking podcasts and there are a million fucking shoot interviews, and wrestling is almost bigger than it's ever fucking been round the world. Hulk Hogan was a driving factor in it becoming what it is today.
Yeah.
No question.
None at all. Yeah, I don't know what else we can talk about here. Like we've talked about Hogan and amongst other things for an hour. Like this was always going to be the Hogan show.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to mention?
I mean, are we not? We're not going to talk about wrestling. What's other shit that's going on in wrestling? Are we?
No. This was always going to be the Hogan. If we can always catch up another time and do some more other wrestling stuff. We can tell the world that we are slipping through the forbidden door all of that.
We are going into Tony Khan's forbidden door. We are going to be in the O2 in Londinium. We will be hopping, not in the Micra this time. We will be hopping in the Ford Focus this time. And we will be going to fucking Forbidden Door. But, I'm looking forward to it because obviously it's a day out of the wrestling with my main man, JB. So
obviously, day out of the wrestling.
You get what I'm saying? I am looking forward to it. But as the actual wrestling goes, I ain't fucking know what matches are on the card right now.
I don't think there's any been announced, but I think I'm sure there will be. Obviously, like we'll get.
How would they not? So hold on, it's in a month's time, and we don't know nothing really about what's going on. They're still giving time to build it.
The only thing I remember vividly, and I did make a point about it, and we did have a little chuckle about it, is that poor Will Ospreay. He said he's injuries aren't to be laughed at. He has got an injury in his back, and he's got some issues there. But it was a whole long ass TV segment of him talking about it and saying he's injured, only to say, I'm going to try and be back next month for Forbidden Door. It's like, all right, that's a wasted segment right there. But
you just basically...
who gets the whole segment to say they're injured and I'll be back next month? No, that's for career enders. That's for people handing titles back because they are not coming back. Or
you know what it is.
Smile. Like,
but you know what it is. It's the school holidays, bruv. So he's just having a month off.
Yeah, why not? 6 weeks.
You get what I'm saying? Is it coincidental that he mentions it just as the 6-week holiday starts, and then he's going to come back for Forbidden Door?
Like people you work with going down ill, like during half term or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. No, I had the shits, mate. I had a dodgy Nando's.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah. Let's wrap this up. Let's say first and foremost, thank you to anyone that's decided to sit and listen to us wax on about Hulk Hogan for the last hour.
I'm doing it.
He's doing it. Hogan must pose.
Fucking Hogan must pose, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Hogan must fucking pose.
Yeah. Dude.
Thank you to everyone that stuck around and listened along, watched along with us for this one. If you are on Facebook, please check out the group, the page. Sorry, not the group, the page. The page, 13,000 of you cannot be wrong.
Correct.
I'm sure of this.
It's approaching 14,000. I'm almost certain.
14,000 of these people are all incredibly right and correct with the world.
And I tell you what, people need to stop stealing our content as well. Because it's starting to get on our tits.
Yeah, I know. People need to, but that's for another episode. People can stop doing that. But people, shout out to everyone that has been sending messages and sending us their match cards and stuff. Yeah, that we putting out on the page. Keep them coming. Beautiful. Like we will get round to all of them. We can promise that as long as you take a good picture of it, we can put it on there. Right. No blurry pictures and no dick pics. Thank you.
Wow. I mean,
never say never, right?
If they're impressive, we can deal with it. Like, just you get me. No excuses. Like it was cold that night. Like,
true. Yeah. If you're watching, of course, subscribe to us on YouTube. If you are listening, you can check us out on all of your favorite podcast mediums. That includes, Apple, Spotify, and all the other ones that Chris used to talk about, but I can't remember.
Podbean, Spotify, Deezer, Castbox. Yeah, I mean, Amazon Podcast, Apple Podcast.
All
the
good
whole
shit.
shebang. I need to get my list back. I need to get, like I saw this, I saw this thing. It was like a prop from WWF, WWE, and it was the list of Jericho. And I might just get a clipboard, list of Jericho clipboard, and just put the list of podcasts on there, so I can jam them out every week. I had a list, man, but I lost it.
Yeah, we'll find. We'll sort out another list.
We'll sort out the list, bro. Yeah.
So for now, thank you so much for checking us out. Thank you so much for sticking with us. I'm JB. With me, the best Chris in all of wrestling podcasts, flexing and posing, Mr. Chris Dredd.
Yes.
For now, guys, thank you for sticking around. This has been a show about Hulk Hogan. May he rest in peace.
Yes. And what you gonna do when JB and Chris Dredd run wild on you, brother?
Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.
Peace.